What's up, everyone? Good late afternoon or early evening for some of you. We've got another daily injury report from Seahawks practice. And there's a little bit of good news, a little bit of bad news, and overall, mostly just kind of the same old news. Not a lot changed from yesterday to today, which is obviously a little more alarming. We're still not at the point where we have to really worry about anything to the point of panic, but I am starting to get a little concerned about these guys. So let's take a look at the injury report posted by Condota on Twitter just a little bit ago. And we can see that the DNP list looks somewhat similar. There is a lot in common with yesterday. Evan Brown did not practice, neither did Zach Charbonnet. Time to start wondering a little bit about their availability on Sunday, right? Evan Brown's a veteran. It's not so bad for him to miss practice, but Charbonnet's a rookie. And I know he's a running back and running back stuff. It's not like, I don't know if he needs every single rep in practice, but two straight DNPs has to make you wonder. We did have DK Metcalf still not participating. Again, I'm not worried about him. I think that he will play in this game. I have little doubt in my mind, but um, I think this is just going to be a recurring thing where he misses a lot of practice because he's already built up a couple of nagging injuries. However, we traded out one offensive lineman for another. Jake Curhan is no longer a DNP, but Phil Haynes is. So do the math. Phil Haynes went from a limited participant yesterday to a did not practice today. Either it's a rest day or something got worse. We're not going to really know until tomorrow for sure, but Phil Haynes not practicing today does kind of give me a little bit of alarm. There's a little cause for alarm here. I'm a bit concerned about Phil Haynes being able to play if he's going from practicing to not practicing the next day. All right, so now that gets us to the limited participants, and as you can see, Curhan took Haynes's place. So Curhan's trending to be able to play. Guys, say whatever you will. We probably need him. I know he looked bad against the Bengals. I know he's not good in pass protection. We're just going to have to help him more than we did in the last couple games. That's all there is to it. He's still probably our best answer here. Abe Lucas is not going to be ready for a little while. Jason Peters, if he is ready, right tackle is not his best position. He would be much better off playing left tackle or one of the guard spots. Right tackle is kind of like the worst place you could put him. So Curhan probably just needs to play. And we can't have super high expectations for him, but there are things that he does well. And we're going to have to find a way to put those things on display as much as possible while hiding the things he's not so good at as much as possible. Also limited with Charles Cross. No real worries here. He's practiced 2 days in a row. I'm sure he's going to play. Damian Lewis, another day of limited practice, so I think that's a good sign. I'm sure he'll play at this point. It would be weird if he didn't. Lockett was limited with a hamstring injury, and so was Artie Burns. So basically, a lot of things staying the same. But again, if a player is limited in practice, most of the time it means they're ready to play. They're just taking it easy for rest purposes, more so than the injury is going to make it impossible for them to play. There are exceptions, but most of the time that's what it is. It's like Jamal Adams was practicing a few weeks ago, but he wasn't ready to play because it wasn't about that for him. It was about him trying to get all the way back before he even tried. So I think all these guys are going to play. They may not be 100%, but they're going to be close enough to where they can go out there and contribute positively. We had one full participant. It was Trey Brown, so he went from limited yesterday to full participant today, which is great. So he's obviously doing fine. And like I said, he is now part of this. He is part of this elite secondary. He's played so well so far this year. You got to give it to him. And that's the injury report for the Seahawks right now. Overall, it's not great, but it could be worse. We're going to find out exactly where we stand tomorrow. But as of right now, I mean, if we don't have Evan Brown, that's a blow. If we don't have Charbonnet, that's a blow. We are playing the Cardinals. That's not the best team. That's a team you would expect to beat, even if you're a little inhibited based on the way they played so far this year. But this isn't exactly what you want to be looking at when you're looking at your injury report. I mean, the offensive line is still beat to high heaven. That's not good. Okay, now let's take a look at the Cardinal side of things. I found their injury report from this tweet from Josh Weinfuss. and theirs is actually getting a little bit fatter. So things are actually trending in the wrong direction for them. So let's take a look here. Antonio Hamilton still not practicing. Seems like a decent bet to not play in this game. He's the guy that they might have a little bit of desire to get out there, more so than some of these other guys. Zach Pascal, one of their depth wide receivers, did not practice. And Jalen Thompson, one of their safeties, did not practice. So those guys definitely in some danger of missing this game. And Elijah Wilkinson showed up with a neck injury. And he, not exactly a great player for them or something, but somebody that they would certainly prefer to have. So this is notable. It could just be a situation where he's resting because he is, at this point, I can't remember how long he's been in the league, but he is a little bit of a veteran. But it is interesting that this pops up after not even being listed on Wednesday. So it's possible that he ends up missing this game because of that. Budda Baker remains limited. It's been said by a couple of people now that he's expected to play. So it looks like Budda Baker is going to be making his first appearance since week 1. And obviously this game is kind of a big deal to him because he's a former Washington Husky. He's playing in Seattle against a team that I'm sure he wanted to be drafted by. And it's, I don't want to say Budda Baker kills us, but he's had some pretty good moments against us, I guess. So Budda Baker likely to play, but still limited in practice. Keitrell Clark, limited. I would expect him to play regardless at slot corner for them. Kyler Murray, limited, but he's one of those exceptions where I don't think he's going to play. I think they've already basically ruled him out. So Kyler, I wouldn't even worry about him. Josh Dobbs is going to end up being the quarterback we get, I'm sure. Kevin Strong, one of their defensive linemen, showed up with a calf injury, but he was just limited, so I think he's probably good to go. Garrett Williams, limited again in practice with a knee injury. I think he'll play, but it is starting to really look like they're going to be crippled in their secondary a little bit. So this is going to be an area that the Seahawks need to attack on Sunday if they want to take care of business and win. And then they've got Kevin Beachum, hand injury, but no missing a practice. And Jonathan Ledbetter, defensive lineman, no inhibitions in practice, should be ready to go. So looks decent on their side as well. They're missing some guys, but it's not terrible. Kind of similar injury reports across both teams, right? Like maybe theirs is a little bit better than ours, but overall it's the same basic idea. So that's the Thursday injury report. We'll learn a lot more tomorrow, but right now we're going to need some good news tomorrow, I'm afraid. I think that this is kind of a big deal. Even if we might win anyway against a team like the Cardinals, which I understand may very well be the case, you want to have your guys out there, right? You don't want Geno to get hit 800 times and then just win 6-3, right? You want Geno to be able to stay upright and do stuff because his offensive line's able to play well for him. So yeah, we'll see tomorrow. See you guys tonight for the Hawks Nest stream. Should start around 8 o'clock when the Thursday night game's wrapping up. I'll see you guys soon. Go Hawks, and that is your injury report for Thursday.